Hello, welcome beautiful vibrant souls to today's reading. I'm just getting cozy comfy. This is Vanessa. Welcome to my little corner of the internet here. I'm just getting cozy because I'm moving stuff around on my desk. So yeah, hi, welcome. Today's reading is going to be a collective reading all about this full moon eclipse that we've got going on tomorrow, May 5th, in the sign of Scorpio. So, first of all, I'm kind of like experimenting a little bit with my style. I'm trying to do more collective readings. If you folks have a particular preference, if you like collective readings for big astrological events, like collective astrological events versus pick-a-cards, please let me know in the comments. Once I'm finally at 1,000 subscribers, I can post community polls and really get your input. But until then, be as loud and active as you want to in the comments. I'd like to try to get your input for further content going forward. So this is going to be kind of a big one. Eclipses are always, they're spicier energy. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to just briefly kind of go over what you can expect, like what this eclipse is all about. And then we're going to kind of get into the cards. I've already shuffled out some oracle cards for overarching themes. I have a tarot deck shuffled and ready to go to get further messages, details, and clarification. So let's get into it. Eclipse energy, as opposed to other lunar phase energy, lasts for 6 months, right? So this will go from this, full moon in Scorpio up through the new moon in Scorpio that we'll see in November, most likely. I think that's when it is this year. But yeah, so keep that in mind that this energy can play out anytime over the next, sorry, I'm looking at my laptop cord and I'm noticing my cat has been chewing it. Oh, that little precocious scamp. His name is Nugget and he's never going to do anything wrong. But yeah, so this energy, like I said, will be playing out anytime over the next 6 months, could be playing out repetitively, and can be coming up in a number of different formats. So full moons in general are really all about, they are about, closure, things coming to fruition, something coming full circle. They are about manifestations and thus celebration, but they are also about release work, right? So what happens with the full moon is we set our intentions, whether we do so consciously or not, at the new moon 6 months prior. And then by the time we get to the full moon, this is a time when either those intentions are finally manifesting and coming to fruition, right? Especially if we've been taking active steps in that direction and really feeding it with our energy. Or like major kind of blockages toward that manifestation are coming up for our awareness. Of all the lunar cycles, the full moon is the most illuminated, and where the moon does talk about our emotions and our inner world, it also deals with our subconscious. So for me, the full moons are really a time where we can get the greatest insight on something that's kind of in our blind spot otherwise. And this especially applies to full moon in Scorpio. We will talk about it momentarily. But this is kind of usually what happens from the new to the full moon. Now, with it being the eclipse, this is especially powerful energy. This is where we are really getting deep illumination on those things in our blind spot, particularly with that solar energy coming into play, how it impacts our personal power, our sense of self, possibly our ego, but our truest soul self. So there's a lot here. Now, with it being in Scorpio, first of all, look at where Scorpio is in your chart, and that might impact that area of life the most significantly. So for example, if somebody, if Scorpio fell in your 7th house, you might be seeing this the most in partnerships. If Scorpio fell into your 10th house, this could be having to deal with your career or how the public kind of sees you, right? Your legacy you're leaving behind. I have stray hairs on me. It's driving me nuts. I'm sorry. So take that as it resonates. If you are looking for a full moon reading about this, I do offer those. My shop is linked in the description box below. I also offer lunar guidance sessions. And so where most of the time lunar energy goes from lunar phase to lunar phase, so full moon to the next full moon, this energy can play out anytime over the next 6 months. So you have a little bit more of a window to kind of do a deeper dive and try to utilize this energy to to really help improve some area of life. So keep that in mind. My lunar guidance sessions are also listed on my shop. I do have a few available currently that are still open for booking. So yeah, keep that in mind. So looking at where Scorpio falls in your chart might give you more insight as to where this is going to be playing out for you, especially also if you have placements in Scorpio. I would also apply this to your 8th house in the sense that if you have any significant placements in your 8th house, because Scorpio traditionally rules the 8th house, this might apply to those as well. So this is going to be a spicy one. Full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign about depth, right? Ruling the 8th house. This is all about... Sorry, the stray hairs are going to drive me absolutely bonkers, so I'm trying to fix it once and for all. This is a house all about death and rebirth. This is also about intimate mergers. This is why it deals with marriage, it deals with investments, and it's also about things that are secret, things that are beneath the surface. Another thing that this house can really deal with is the ego death. You're stripping away your kind of outer sense of self to reach your soul self. You're stripping away, me in order to make room for we if you're joining together with another person. So anything regarding these themes in these areas of your life can be brought up as a result of this eclipse. Now, like I said, eclipse energy is extra potent, extra special. So this eclipse is not screwing around. Pretty much. We did just recently have Pluto transit into Aquarius as well. Pluto rules Scorpio in Western astrology. Pluto is also the planet with, if I'm not mistaken, the longest transit time. So we just had it move into Aquarius. So this is a whole new ball game here. And so what a lot of us can expect from this eclipse is, that we're going to get insight, right? We're going to get illumination. Something I was getting in the, kind of channeling, shuffling period before I started filming, that meditative period, was that this is really going to be a time where a lot of us, something that has been interrupting our personal power is gonna come up. And I don't say this to be alarmist or scare anyone. This is ultimately a good thing, right? When I was shuffling the tarot deck, the Queen of Wands came out at one point. So, you could be a fire sign, or this could be dealing with one. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But mostly I'm feeling that, I think unconsciously or subconsciously, a lot of us in the collective are manifesting what this eclipse is bringing in. Now, the reason why I say this is because I think initially it's going to make you kind of confront something that's been in your shadow, something that's been in your fear, right? Ego death is not easy. I almost said it's not difficult. I like that. That's going to be my new mantra. Ego death is not difficult. What? It's not easy, right? It's not easy to strip away, especially if you've already kind of, you've already been on that path, on that journey. And it's kind of like, oh, I surrendered everything I can possibly surrender. This is going to be something where it challenges you. While I was shuffling the tarot deck as well, the Knight of Cups came out. This could also involve a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But this can, with that 8th house kind of energy, that intimacy, this can involve something being brought forth from another person. We will take a deeper look with all of our cards here. But what I'm feeling like for the collective, sorry, my hair is just like tickling my face super bad. What I'm feeling like for the collective is that, hang on, I got this, words. Hang on. Yes, that we are going to be asked to confront a fear, and it is going to be trying to strip away this layer of ego, because while I was shuffling one of the decks, there was a card that came out that was personal power. This is in order to help you find your personal power, and that card in that deck is card 13, which is the death card in the tarot, and that's the Scorpio card. But it also reduces to a 4, meaning to ultimately lead you to greater stability. But there is going to be something, and I feel like it will be challenging, but I don't feel like, I'm not getting tower moment kind of energy. I'm getting like, you've been, I talk about this a lot if you've ever gotten a personal reading with me, which thank you if you have, is that, like in the tarot, the death card and the tower card are both about endings. But one of the big differences between them is that tower card is like suddenly, sharp left turn, pulls the rug out from under you. The death card, the writing is kind of on the wall for a while. And it's an organic process, right? And this is something where this feels like a culmination or a significant step forward in a long process. I do think this is why you guys have been subconsciously, I'm really getting unconsciously manifesting this. So you might be dreaming about this a lot. Your dreams might be very vivid and kind of pointing you toward what's about to happen, pointing you toward what is coming in for you as a result of this shift. because I keep wanting to say unconscious, and that's just not usually a word that I use in this scenario. Some of you might be trying to tap more into the collective unconscious. You might be connecting to soul tribe or soul partners, especially through your dream time, through the astral realm. You might start to see people you don't recognize in meditation more. That's coming through. So if you're meditating and you get visions while you meditate, you might start seeing people you don't recognize. You're like, I don't know who that is. This is you tapping into the collective unconscious, specifically when it has to do with people that you are, sorry, I'm trying to channel for you while I talk. When it has to do with people that you are non-locally connected to, and this is a whole separate rant for another time, but essentially non-local connections are when we have energetic ties to somebody who is not proximately near us and we have no genetic connection to, right? And it doesn't just have to be people. These are energies and entities, but so what you're seeing more in meditation and possibly in dreams, especially if you tend to dream of people you know and now you're seeing people you don't recognize, you are tapping into the collective unconscious, specifically with other energies, entities, and individuals that you have some type of soul tie with, even if you have yet to meet them in the physical. That was a good one. That was a good chunk of channeling. Oh, so this is kind of what we can expect. Big shakeups, big changes. I'm getting the sense of like revelation, but not like in a, haha, the mask is off kind of way. This revelation of, I feel like things have been happening for you and you've been on your journey. You've been kind of going through this sort of rebirth process. And there's something where there's going to be this revelation of this deep understanding of some things that have already happened along your path or why certain things happen. It's going to gain significance. It's going to click into place. It's going to make sense. So that's what I had for channeled information. Let's get into the cards for the collective. Wow. Throat chakra with life purpose. 22 master number coming out. So you might have a lot of ascended masters, especially with the stairs. That always makes me think of ascension, who are helping you right now. This is why this is such a big deal, because something that you're going through is leading you toward your life purpose here. And with 22 being the master number that's showing up, this is all about your path. Yes, your purpose, the decisions you make, and the people you align with in that process. So yeah, already right out the gate, we're not playing around. Belief with 11, another master number. I'm gonna shit my pants. So you might be seeing a lot of repeating numbers, specifically like 11 or 1111, 22 or 2222, 33 or 33. Just like repeating ones, twos, and threes. You could also be seeing 1, 2, 3, but for a lot of you, the repetitive numbers are gonna be the big. That's the big synchronicity, the big money maker here. It says, the frequency of belief supports our sense of self-worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Wow. Okay. Let's look at the rest of your cards. Ooh, okay. You have the Green Man, card 10 with growth. Yeah, I'm not surprised. 10's also reduced to a 1, which I love because 10s are about the completion of a cycle and 1s are new beginnings. Sorry, there's like, I was snacking and there's like I was having some seaweed snacks and they were sea salt ones. There's little sea salt on my desk. I'm sorry. I'm like, what is that crunch? It's me. It's my decisions. I'm the problem. But yeah, so there is this cycle that is ending and bringing in a new beginning. We'll talk about that extensively. Yep, 17, broomstick with cleansing. I love how we even have the sun and moon imagery here. Yeah, we'll talk about it, but this reduces to an 8. There is more sea salt on my desk. I'm gonna leave it alone. Ooh, okay, gate with opportunities and home. And moon with cycles and change. Okay. Let me just sit here for a sec here. Okay. So right away with the Green Man here and growth. 10, you're ending a cycle, like I was talking about. I think this is something where you've already, ended a cycle and you start to begin a new one, and you've been in this transitional period. We see this with this woman right between the sun and moon here. You've been in this transitional period, and with 10 reducing to a 1 and growth here, you have achieved enough growth that the universe can now open this door, right? We have this little We have the little doorway in the tree. And I think it's interesting that we have the crystal ball and the snake. So snakes can also be associated with that 8th house energy because they are all about transformation and rebirth. They're also about healing. But with this snake wrapped around the crystal ball, there's something where, sorry, my nose is really itchy. There's something where intuitively, like I said, intuitively, you are drawn toward whatever's coming into your life, which we'll pull cards and clarify. You've been calling it in. You've been drawing this near to you because intuitively, you know, and with the crystal ball here making me think of scrying, this is again where you're starting to see visions of it. You're starting to dream of things you've never dreamt about. You're starting to see people in meditations you've never seen before. You have been intuitively calling this in and preparing for this transformation. This is why this new doorway is opening to you, because you've both achieved enough growth, but this is the way forward to growth. And it's very important that you know that. I think a lot of you have been operating off of belief for a while without any tangible results, kind of just waiting for things to change, waiting for things to kind of go your way, right? We have a closed door here on this card. We have a gate that's now open. This is a very, and even here we have like a doorway with no door and the light is shining. You've had to kind of go through the cycle of feeling blocked, of having to wait, and again, achieve enough growth. I want to know why. What was the, sorry, hear the landline ringing. What was the purpose of waiting? What was the purpose of this delay? Because a lot of us get frustrated. The Empress, things needed time, right? She's always depicted as pregnant. Babies need time to gestate. But I want to find out why, because I'm nosy. The 9 of Swords reverse. Okay. The 5 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. Sorry for an itchy nose. The Hermit. Interesting. Virgo energy showing up now. And the 2 of Wands. Okay. The reason why you had to wait for this is because adjustments had to be made. What I'm kind of getting here with the Hermit and the 2 of Wands is that you could have gone in one of 2 directions. And the thing is, they were both going to lead to soul growth. They were both going to lead to your soul path. We have a lot of grapes up here. There was going to be abundance no matter what, but there was, I feel like the 2 paths ahead of you were, there's like this sense of, I feel like with these 2 paths, there is a sense of, this feels like the path of least resistance, but okay, let me kind of sort this out. I feel like a lot of you were on this path where you really had to scrap for things with the 5 of Pentacles. You felt abandoned by the universe. You had to teach yourself a lot. You had to learn on the go. You had to kind of like figure it out as you went along and figure it out quick, right? This is the little match girl in this deck. And you know, she's cold, she's freezing, she's, you know, if you're familiar with the story, and I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it if you don't, like she's right on death's doorstep in this image. And I feel like this was a way of teaching you. You've lived your life this way. You've had to really like scrap it out. You've had to really fight for yourself. It's been about surviving, right? And while I think a lot of you have had to kind of hold on to some hope, right, with her little match here, hold on to some kind of divine guidance or inspiration, there's this sense of, this is my life, right? You know, this is a card about being kind of left out in the cold and abandoned, but not just by the circumstance, almost by the universe, right? I'm having to fight for things because nobody is going to show up for me, and nobody's showing up for me because there's like this internalized belief of I am not worthy, I am not loved by the universe. If I were, people would have shown up by now. A lot of you, this is about the connections that you have in your life and your sense of emotional and spiritual abundance. And the thing is, I think a lot of you are spiritually inclined. That's not the question, right? You've had to survive off of your belief. But this is what I think is changing, right? Because I think you're at this kind of path where you could have kept going in this energy of believing that things like that you can make it, believing that the universe is going to give you exactly like just what you need, and you know, maybe nothing more. The universe is gonna, like, you guys have kept your belief that things are gonna be okay. That's what's kept you going, right? That's what's kept you trying. That's what's kept you doing the work. And you're shifting into a new paradigm where it's not just believing that you're gonna survive, it's believing that things are gonna go your way and that you can release the anxiety with the 9 of Swords reversed. Believing that things are not just about, like, you know, you're not just going to have your basic bare minimum needs met. Again, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You can manifest things. a lot of you had to kind of do some internal work. You had to go within with the Hermit. And this is where the growth has been, is that you've been unlearning old mindsets, right? And this goes back to kind of what I was talking about initially, something operating in the unconscious, is that I think this has been your life story for a long time. So much so, possibly for some of you, the majority of your life, right? We have a baby depicted here. And then we have a child depicted here. This is what you've been going through since childhood. This is what you have lived your life according to. You've just never known anything different. That's why it's an almost unconscious belief, because it's like, I know this exists, but this isn't for me. And so you've been asked to really go inward with the Hermit. I'm nosy, I gotta know more. Oh, it's this one. It's this one, I see it. Yeah, the Four of Pentacles reversed. We have a vulture. Vultures, I love vulture imagery, right? It's always about kind of extracting the wisdom out of difficult situations, right? Things that have ended, the deaths in our lives, and seeing what, you know, like growing from that, taking that experience and enriching ourselves. And I think this is kind of, you've had to learn, you know, survival. You've had to kind of, I think a lot of you, with this coming out to clarify the Hermit, is that you've gone inward to really look at how you have self-protected, behind the guise of endings. Maybe this is saying, you know, oh, I'm not really going to get super invested in a relationship because it always ends. I'm not going to go for that promotion because I know it's just going to, like, you know, come back to bite me in the butt, pretty much. This is what's at this core, is that I think you've been afraid to ask the universe for what you want, afraid to really truly believe that you can have what you want, because at the back of your mind, operating in the unconscious, has been this belief of, it will end and I will survive it, of course, but I don't want to waste my dreams on a lesson, is kind of the energy. Oof. This is heavy shit. And a lot of you guys, this is what had caused the delay, is that there was this need to become aware of that belief. And I think a lot of you guys have started to see how that manifests in your life, and this is going to be different for everybody. So this is what the delay was. A lot of you guys have made enough progress, or you are coming into this place of making enough progress with at least becoming conscious of this, that you can now start to do the hands-on work in a different way, right? So if you're getting what you want manifesting into your life, a lot of you have gotten the necessary awareness that you can see, like, oh, maybe I'm getting triggered right now. What am I actually afraid of? You can now see where these things start to take place in order to be able to pause and ask yourself those clarifying questions. That's the difference, right? A lot of you are also shifting to, with belief here, you've been doing this work of learning how to believe in yourself equal to the universe, believe in your personal power equal to the universe. Saturn transiting through Pisces, which it transited in Pisces in March, might be helping to facilitate this as well. A lot of us are having to do a deep dive and understand our spirituality more, but understand our spirituality as it relates to our sense of power, both a higher power and our personal power. I think a lot of you as well, you've been in this cycle of having to cleanse. You've been in the cycle of having to remove a lot of things from your life. What is this about? Four of Swords. Yeah, you've been having to heal. Look at how the sword is like piercing his mouth though. It's like choking on somebody else's truth. And a lot of you guys have been learning to kind of take other people's opinions of you out of your mouth. I think a lot of you have had to learn to stop and question how you speak on yourself, right? And be able to become conscious of, like, that's not me talking. That's, you know, my parents. That's not me talking. That's what I was told in school. That's not me talking. That's not how I actually feel about myself. This is some powerful shit. Yeah, Page of Wands, and this is preparing you for a brand new adventure, a new beginning. This is something about also, like, reviving your spirit, reviving your sense of enthusiasm and joy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius popping up. So again, more fire energy. Yeah, Ten of Swords reversed. Because you have been betrayed, you have been hurt. I don't know if you can see this with this image. This person is, you know, the spears are in the water. This person's reaching for the lifeboat, and the person in the boat cut their fingers, right? And there is this sense of betrayal. You have been reaching out for help, reaching out for just, like, this feels like the most bare minimum shreds of help, and still been kind of betrayed. You've been asking for very little and still getting so much resistance. What do you have here? Yeah, the Seven of Swords reversed. And the Queen of Wands, yeah. And I think a lot of you, because this version of the Seven of Swords always interests the shit out of me. Look at the shadow on the back. A lot of you, this has been in your shadow, and you have been becoming more and more aware of it, like I said. And so you have been becoming more and more aware of ways that both you might accidentally undercut yourself or kind of self-sabotage, as well as who else is in your life that is not really good for you. So with this clarifying cleansing, a lot of you have been cleaning up, like cleaning house with the people and things, and even personal habits and beliefs in your life that have kept you from your magic. This also makes me think of childhood issues. Whenever I see the king or queen of one suit and the page of the same suit, that's a parent-child relationship to me. And with this being the wand suit, this can be a relationship with a parent who is always, you know, it's always about them. It's always about what they want to do. They can be a little performative sometimes. There's a volcano in the background of this card, so this is somebody who might deal with anger issues or just be very volatile sometimes. This is somebody who, you know, they don't really, it doesn't matter what you want to do. It doesn't matter what you want to make, what you're excited about. It's always about them. It's always about, you know, their story, right? This is somebody who's very creative, very gregarious, very social, very charismatic, right? They have a lot of energy, but in a more shadowy kind of context, this can represent somebody who, you know, somebody who their opinion of you is the only opinion that matters as far as they're concerned. They have decided who you are. They're not really seeing you, right? They're not really listening to you. This is also somebody who their story, the story they tell, right? Because the King and Queen of Wands are, again, very gregarious. They're storytellers. They are, it's easy to get drawn into their energy. It's like this to me, honestly, in a shadow context, the King and Queen of Wands can be kind of narcissistic, if I'm being honest. It's like their belief, the story they made, the narrative they make serves them. They're kind of their own legend in their own right, and they don't see you for who you actually are, or they have you in this role and they don't want to let you get out of that, right? So this can be somebody who, you know, a parent who's like, this is who you are, and like, you know, they're always trying to keep you in that place, keep you disempowered, always remind you of your past mistakes. You know, they could say mean things to you and they expect you to brush it off. But if you say something, you know, that they feel is mean, they'll never let it go. Stuff like that. That's kind of the energy I'm picking up here. It's like, this is always the dynamic in a shadow context of like, there's no room for you in this relationship. It's all about like you orbit them and you don't ever get to become your own person. And the thing is, I'm noticing all the bananas in the background, and I don't know why. I don't usually see bananas. It's like a symbol of abundance, but I'm kind of getting that here. It's like you're a naturally abundant energy. You have this abundant energy on your own. And this person knows that intuitively. And this is partially why this person has kind of seeked to control you. None of this is at a conscious level. They're not sitting there being like, how can I damage this person's self-esteem to the point where they never recover? But this is kind of how they operate, right? There's a lot here with the sun and moon about this person's shadow and how that has contributed to your own shadow, right? And I think a lot of you guys have been, with, you know, all this coming out for cleansing, have been becoming aware of this. This is card 17, which makes me think of the star in the tarot, but also reduces to an 8. You're finding your own authenticity in order to kind of manifest the life that you would like. So that I do feel like there is greater, there's going to be greater movement and growth, right? We have opportunities in home. I want to see more specifically what this is going to kind of entail or look like, because this is kind of talking about the growth you've been doing, right, to prepare for this. Yes, it is that one. Oh my goodness. I'm supposed to flip that one now. What's at the bottom? The Empress. Yeah, exactly. You've been growing this. This has been as a result of, some of you might be healing your divine feminine energy, healing a mother wound. But this is also just because you've been loving yourself and you're learning how to love yourself well. You're learning how to love yourself from a state of thriving, not just about surviving your experience. So let's see what this is bringing in with, you know, opportunities, home. Some of you might be moving. That's certainly a possibility here. Okay, we have the King of Pentacles reversed. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn showing up. Wow, the King of Cups reversed. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Three of Swords reversed. My goodness, the plot thickens. The Hanged Man reversed. Okay, we got Pisces. And the Tower reversed. Okay, we have all reversals here. This is why I feel like, I'm just sitting with this. Ooh, I don't know if you guys heard that. That was my sternum cracking. That felt good. Okay. This is likely something from your past that is coming around. Sorry, now I have a stray hair tickling me again. That is coming around. And I do feel like, Hanged Man, this is something that you have been waiting for it to improve. And I feel like this is, you're not waiting anymore. It's hard to see, but her feet, because she's been upside down so long, her feet are like turning red. There's something here where like, I feel like you've gone numb to this cycle with this person, with these people. You may have kind of been waiting to take a chance. What are you, I'm going to clarify here. What were you waiting on? The Lovers reversed. Gemini energy now showing up. You're waiting on somebody to make a choice, somebody to choose to greet you with love with the Three of Swords reversed, somebody to apologize. Yeah, the Empress. Somebody to give you the love that you deserve. Seven of Cups, somebody to tell you how they feel. Strength reversed at the bottom. Taurus and Libra showing up now. Okay, all right. So like I said, what you've been waiting on somebody to choose to show you love. Some of you, this can apply where you've been waiting to go after something that you love. But what I'm seeing here is this was something, some of you are going to be moving away from this. Some of you, this situation is coming back around and you will be choosing something different. King of Cups reversed, King of Pentacles reversed. This can be two people. But just as a dynamic, these are usually upright, two very solid, stable people to be interconnected with, right? You know, King of Cups upright is emotional security. I'm hearing validation. Somebody who can validate your emotions, who can take responsibility, have emotional accountability for themselves. Somebody who knows how to apologize is what I'm getting. It almost looks like they've got a little bit of rose quartz here, like this dragon is like jealously guarding that, and rose quartz is highly associated with love. Somebody who knows how to protect love, somebody who knows how to value the love that they have in their life. And with the King of Pentacles, this is somebody who's stable, generous, solid, mature, grounded, financially responsible in general. This is somebody who's not afraid to do the work and to let things grow over time, and both of these are reversed. I think somebody who was supposed to be, you know, either your equal or even like, you know, just because we had that Empress coming out, either your equal or even supposed to be your caretaker has dropped the ball for a really long time. This is somebody who is emotionally reactive, immature. This is somebody who didn't really tend to the relationship. They didn't treat it as something valuable. And I think a lot of you have been trying to heal with the Three of Swords. In the reverse, you've been making changes in your life. I see that with the Tower. Yeah, there's a sudden shift here, and there's two people falling out of the Tower. There was something where there was an epiphany of like, I need to detach from this person. I need to, you know, clean house. I need to put up boundaries. I need to change the way I talk about myself. You took the opportunity. I love seeing the Tower reversed, right? Because upright, this is when something isn't working. And the universe sends us signs, synchronicities, and we're kind of like either not getting it or we're kind of just ignoring it, right? So the universe comes in and is like, bam, knock over your unstable shit because you got to deal with this. Reverse, this is kind of like we see that something isn't sound, isn't stable, isn't solid, and we take matters into our own hands and start making changes. That's why I like it a lot better reverse. You guys have taken this as an opportunity to go within and an opportunity to start to question your beliefs, start to become more consciously aware of your beliefs in order to make changes, right? Because the whole goal here was healing, trying to understand. And we even have this like shadowy figure here again, trying to understand your own shadow as it pertains to the people you've manifested in your life, right? Trying to understand, like, if this is a romantic partner, you're like, why did I manifest this person? And tracing it back to like some of your subconscious or even unconscious beliefs. This is like a situation with a parent and like dealing with those wounds. This is trying to understand, like, you know, why, like, how has this really truly impacted me? You've been getting really, really clear on that. And this is why I feel like you're able to finally move forward. And in terms of, you know, what are you moving forward with a Hanged Man? This is where, you know, like I said, you were waiting for somebody to apologize. You've been waiting, and this doesn't even have to be a specific person, right? With the Seven of Cups, there's a lot of emotions here. This could be a lot of things, and it's all tied into how you feel about yourself, what self-esteem foundations were given to you, and how you've been doing the work to change that, grow that, and heal that. This is all about how the type of people you connect to, right? With that Scorpio energy, intimate connections, really understanding, understanding your intimate connections, how those show up for you, how you're able to show up, because you're moving from this place of survival mindset into thriving and understanding, I've never actually had that emotional support, right? If this is like, showing up in the, let's say it's showing up at work, right? With what you go for, what you try to do for yourself, right? That's saying, oh my God, I don't actually take chances because I don't believe they're going to work out. Let me start thinking about that. Let me start dealing with that. You've taken matters into your own hands. As a result, I do feel like things are finally like shifting and changing. I want to know more specifically. Some of you are finding your life purpose. Some of you are finding, as you go through your experiences, that this is, I was going to say pointing you toward your life purpose. I just heard the word negating. So some of you, as you're kind of unpacking all of this, you're realizing the path you were on was a trajectory of what you have known. And you're going to be swapping. You're going to be changing. You're going to be like, whoop, nope, put the brakes on that. I don't want to go in that direction. That's not for me. That's what was given to me. Eight of Cups. Some of you are walking away from a path you thought you were going to be on, and you're instead trying to find your new life purpose. Six of Wands reversed, because there's this recognition that ultimately it's not for you. You're not being valued. You're not being validated. Some of you thought you were going to be with a person, and that was like your person, and you're having to switch now because there's that recognition that that person was a match for the unhealed version of you. And that's no longer the game we're playing. That's not applicable anymore. Yeah, Nine of Cups reversed. Okay. Three of Wands reversed. Exactly. All right. The Emperor reversed. Yup. And the Four of Wands reversed. Okay, so this is actually a pretty solid message. Some of you, this is about a home. Some of you may have been going to, because we have the Empress over here, and the Emperor is coming out reversed. Some of you were going to move in with a partner. Some of you were going to get married, or you were hoping for that. You thought this was your person. And there's kind of this like, whoop, nope, I'm going in a different direction now. Because you recognize that, again, that was this situation, this person was a match for your unhealed version of self. And now that you, with the Empress, are learning to value yourself, you're realizing that this person, you can't fully intimately connect with that person. You're always going to have a guard up. You're always going to have that ego protection up. You can never be fully just yourself with them. And so there's this, for some of you, what this is bringing in is this peace, right? You're able to take your energy back from the situation because you've been trying to heal, but it's been slow going, right? And once we can finally take our energy back, then we can focus it on finding what we do want, creating what we do want, right? So you've been taking a lot of your energy to heal from this situation because there's been a lot wrapped up in this. Now, for those of you, I feel like as well, I just want to comment on this. For those of you where this was a relationship, I feel like this person, so in this version of the, this version of the Nine of Cups in this deck, essentially is about this, and I can't remember the names of the people in the story, so I'm so sorry. This is a deck that's all based on folklore from around the world. It's awesome. Tarot of the Divine. Highly recommend it. The book has all the stories in it, but I'm sorry I'm forgetting the characters' names right now. This guy wants to go with this lady. She only wants to be with other ladies. So this guy disguises himself as a lady and then makes her fall in love with him. And that's why he's so happy, right? And, arguably, she thinks she's with a lady, so she's happy. He's getting to be with her, so he's happy. But to me, there's always this little bit of Fox in the hen house vibes off of this Nine of Cups. This whole situation, like I said, came from somebody projecting their false self, whether on purpose, intentionally, or whether unintentionally. This is why the Empress coming out here, the Emperor coming out reverse. When you didn't know how to love yourself, when you were struggling to fully understand your own value, that's why this person seemed like your match. Some of you have gone through the situation of you thought you found the person. Some of you, and I don't, usually use this label, but just for ease of describing the situation, it was like a false twin kind of situation. That's why. Because the only way that you guys were going to be an actual true match is if you continued to not know your value and stand up for your value. And this person too, they've got their own shit that they've got to heal, right? But this is why things didn't work out. And there's this recognition, that understanding of that. Because I think what happened here, if this is a situation with this person, like this was a romantic situation, you thought this person was the one, you were building, you were growing, you were ascending with the ladder. And then things did not work out. This person with the Emperor reverse and the Four of Wands reverse, this person may have not been being honest about what they wanted out of the relationship. This person may have said yes to a commitment and then backed out. So like wanted to live together, and then when it came time to like move in, they're like, no, I don't want to do that. They could have left you at the altar, kind of a thing. This is a marriage card, happy home, celebration. This person could have promised you a lot, and then you find out they're like hiding you from their friends and family. They're dragging their feet on something. This is somebody, the reason why is this is somebody who doesn't actually know what they want. This is somebody who doesn't know, with this throat chakra card, their own truth. And that's the difference between you and this person. You got in touch with your truth, and your truth had to do with your value. Their truth had to do with knowing what they wanted and being willing to say it with their full chest, stand up, stand in their power and say, yes, I want this. No, I don't want this. And being willing to put in the work and the effort, right? King of Cups reverse, King of Pentacles reverse. This would be somebody who is not in touch with their emotions and who's also not very stable, right? So they're very, like very subject to the winds of change. I'm just gonna take a sip of my tea. With my little sun and moon mug, perfect for the eclipse. And that's what I see here. If this was not a relationship, whatever this was, like this could have been where you were really gunning for a home, you were trying to sort things out with a family member. There was so much hope for this because this felt like your wish come true, and like something that would complete you, right? And there was building, there was growth here, right? This could be like a home that you were really excited about and ended up not getting, and trying to heal from that. This could be a job you really wanted. I feel like this situation made you feel not only complete and stable, but like you were in your power. And anybody else involved in this, just because we have two people here as well, anybody else involved in this, you felt like you guys were on the same page. But again, this was like work. This job felt like it was for you because there was an imbalance of power. And that's why it seemed like a good match, right? If this was like a friendship, you guys were getting along because there was an imbalance of power. There were two unhealed people, and that's why it worked. And so as you started healing and started asking questions and wanting more for yourself, that's why this fell apart. So what I feel like this eclipse is bringing in for many of you is really just understanding. You're going to be able to take your energy back. You're going to be able to let it go. You might be getting this emotional renewal. I want to see if there's anything kind of like more tangible that's coming in for this. Okay. As soon as I said tangible, the Five of Swords fell out. You and this person might get into an argument, and it's kind of like somebody shows their true colors. Eight of Cups, yeah. And you're going to be walking away. Something is being revealed here where you're like, I was on the right path. Wheel of Fortune reversed, that this would not have been a good thing for you. The High Priestess. This is also going to restore your relationship. Six of Swords reversed at the bottom with your intuition, right? So Six of Swords for me is always an inner child healing card. This is also about finding peace, right? Following the Five of Swords. This is something where you're going to get clarity and confirmation. Somebody's going to pick a fight with you. If this was like a job, there's going to be like, if there's something you lost out on, there's going to be like a huge scandal or like a fight in the workplace. This is just not a fun energy. This was like a home you wanted. Something is going to like come to your awareness about something about it that would like have been faulty. Like there's something here where it's like you are going to get, I feel like you're going to get clarification on this person. And I say this too because normally in this deck, the no fun person is always hanging on to 3 swords, I think. It's either they're hanging on to 2 and there's 3 on the ground, or they're hanging on to 3 and there's 2 on the ground. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they're hanging on to 3, if I remember correctly. In this version, they're hanging on to the 4 with one hand, and then they've got the Ace of Swords. This person wants to hang on to your healing, not consciously, but they're trying to exert power and control over you, and they're probably going to do this with this one sword, the Ace here, by reaching out and talking to you. And it's something where they just say something that hits below the belt. They just say something that, like, after everything they've done, the audacity to speak to you in this way, or to, like, do whatever they're going to do. You know, maybe this was somebody that you were really hoping to be committed with, and they're like, oh, I would, but I'm just not a commitment kind of person. And you find out, you know, like 6 months after you break up or something, they're getting married to someone else. There's something here where like, it might be hard to hear, but it's going to be exactly what you need to be able to walk away from the situation for good and feel good about that, right? Something to be able to understand, whoa, this was not, like, if this was a relationship, this was not the person for me. I don't deserve that crap. There's something here, and so it might be difficult to hear, but whatever this is going to allow you to understand that this was truly not healthy for you and honoring you and meant for you. And again, I think it will restore your relationship with your intuition, right? I want to clarify that High Priestess a little bit. Pisces energy showing up. Okay, yeah, Knight of Cups. This is what it is. I feel like this person's going to try to come back to you and communicate. And this person's either going to say something that like, it's like, there's going to be some emotional exchange with the Knight of Cups, right? They might try to get back together with you. They might try to, ask you to come work for them again. There's something where they're going to try to pull you back in. And I feel like either that will start to happen and then they'll hit you with this 5 of Swords trying to just make you feel bad about yourself. You're right back in that same scenario. Or there's something by trying to get you back and like maybe apologizing, explaining what was happening. They have to also reveal something, right? So like, let's say you guys were building, and then they just cut you off in the relationship and left. This is where they know they have to kind of explain to you like, yeah, you know, I was kind of like, I got involved with somebody else. I was dealing with somebody else. There might be like a secret that comes out with that Pisces energy. There's something where it just feels like a slap in the face. What is this? Okay, 7 of Wands reverse. There's something where it's like, they may have been being defensive before, and it feels like it's just like their own issues with control, right? So it's like, I don't, you know, if you ask me to have your needs met, I don't want to do it. But once you say, you know, offers off the table, now I want it, right? And it's just kind of like insulting. Yeah, 8 of Wands reverse. And then the 9 of Pentacles reverse. This person I feel like was trying to control, depth at the bottom, yeah. Trying to control the pace of how things unfolded between the two of you and put the brakes on pretty hard. And I feel like a lot of you, for the 9 of Pentacles reversed, for a lot of you, this was because this person wasn't ready to be done acting single. And there's something where they really, really put you through a lot. They hurt you. We saw that 10 of Swords. We saw the 3 of Swords. They, you know, whether it's being single or not, right? Even if this was like family, somebody wasn't ready to be done being their top priority, their top concern. And there's something here where I feel like they're gonna like come back and either offer like a half-assed apology, or they're gonna kind of like come back and expect you to just sort of drop everything to resume the dynamic. There's this expectation that they can hurt you so badly and they don't really have to take full responsibility, or little to nothing has to change, or it's all on their time of like, okay, well now I'm ready. Like, that's great, but and there's something here where, again, I do think it will be difficult to hear, but it's going to really confirm for you that A, you're not crazy, right? You weren't making things up. This person really was like, there really was building here. And that B, you weren't wrong for walking away. And you weren't wrong for putting up boundaries. Because I think with cycle and change, you're going to notice how much you've changed, right? So I think what this eclipse is going to be bringing in is a restoration in the belief with yourself. And I also feel like this will open up new doors for you in general. And so for a lot of you, it's going to be different no matter what it is. Some of you, like I said, are finding your life purpose as a result of this. But I want to see. Okay, yeah, 10 of Wands. It's going to be where you're going to release this energy, because this was the final step in a transformation. And I feel like you're finally going to be able to move past that cycle. Yep, the 3 of Wands reversed. Your energy isn't going to be locked up in this situation anymore, meaning that you'll have more energy to put toward other things. And the things that you do start investing in will start to manifest more. We have the 5 of Cups reversed, Notice the arm coming out to keep a hold on her. This person or the situation has a hold on your energy. So as this dissipates with the Two of Cups still standing on this card and the 5 being reversed, you're going to start to notice the opportunities around you a lot more. I feel like this is just going to be like the sense of renewal. You have more energy. You're happier. You're not feeling sad about this. Full moon here. You're able to let this go. Yep. King of Pentacles reverse, the Tower reverse, and Death. You have made the changes. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles reversed at the bottom. You have made the changes to yourself in light of this situation. You have really looked at and evaluated your own foundations and stability. And a lot of you, 10 of Pentacles reversed, this goes back to childhood programming. You have been doing that work, that deep work. And as a result, your transformation is finally allowed to be complete. That's what this eclipse is bringing in. I do also feel like this is going to offer you the opportunity to believe in yourself more. And you see how we have like the specter here, and then there's the human arm. There's something where you're going to be seeing this other person as almost like more human, in the sense of they're not going to have such a hold on you anymore, right? It's interesting, we have the human arm here and we have the human arm here. It's like they're not going to have such a hold on you. It's not going to feel like this like strong spiritual pull, like you can't say no. It's not going to have that kind of spiritual cosmic gravity to it. You will finally be able to move on from this situation and feel lighter and happier. Your energy has been very tied up in this. So if it's been hard to manifest, it's been hard to move on, it's been hard to hear your intuition as well, it's because you've been really doing a lot of work here. Your transformation is finally going to be complete, meaning you're allowed to step into a new, happier, lighter, like cleaner kind of cycle for you. So, I think that's just about everything I have for you guys. This was a long one, but this is good. I'm wishing you guys a safe, happy, healthy full moon eclipse. Yeah, let me know in the comments if it resonated, and I just hope I get the chance to read for you guys again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.